Hi, I'm Real Genetic Demon, and this is What's on the Tape, Season 17, Volume 5, and we've got another new tape. This time it's a C90, look at this, it's huge, C90, K-tape, compact cassette, low noise with one of them, Russian? Roman numerals, God, Russ in my head, got a R in my head. Anyway, look at this one, oh look at that, normal, made in, is it Hong Kong? Oh, it's made in Hong Kong. We thought it was China. Well, it was China, but it was British colony, wasn't it, for quite a while. Anyway, let's get this one out. I quite like this one. It's got a 70s aesthetic to it. I quite like that. K-tape. It's not what I've seen before, actually, to be honest with you. Anyway, let's see what we've got here. So, hopefully, this is going to be interesting, because it looks like there's a lot on side 2, and very little on side 1. But we've got Way of the Exploding Fist, one of my personal favourites. Nightshade, that's an Ultimate Play the Game, if I remember rightly. Jack and the Beanstalk, that's a release by Thor. Not many people like it, but I quite liked it. It appeared on Soft Aid. Quite a good game, that one. I love the name of this one. Non-Terraquous. I know Dave Birdsall likes this one, and Dave plays Retrogames badly. Birdsall, he really likes Non-Terraquous. And Soul of the Robot is the follow-up to it, and then this one called Terracognition, which is like the third one, which is like a shoot-em-up. But I don't think we're going to get to these side, but we've got all kinds. Look, Dynamite Dan, Beachhead, Ghostbusters? Goatbusters, that's a new one on me. Goatbusters. Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters. There's a goat on my roof. I need it shot with a laser. But there looks like there's a few others here. I don't know if these will appear though. Yeah, Kung Fu, Gunfight, Boulder, Winter Games. But it's a big tape. Look at this. It's a monster. I'm not wasting time today. We've got a really big tape. But I'm quite looking forward because I always love. And hang on, I'm going to go grab it. You stay there. Always love, he says, coming back quickly. Always love a bit of Exploding Fist. That's 3 different versions of it right there in front of you. That's the Spanish version. Alright, so the Spanish came in a big clamshell. This is the Dutch version, which came on a computer club version of it. So there's a Dutch version of it, because there's nothing like a bit of a variant. No, everybody loves a variant. So that's a Dutch version of it. And then this is the one that was released in the UK. Really nice. We'll really like a bit of Kung Fu. Way of the Exploding Fist. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to get that into a tape drive. Okay, the tape is in the drive, so we're ready to go. So we'll get out our favourite, which is basic and low dit. If it's Way of the Exploding Fist, that's definitely going to be a 48k game. I still hold, and you can argue in the comments if you like, but you're wrong. That Way of the Exploding Fist is probably the greatest one-on-one beat 'em up ever on an 8-bit. Computer. I'm not going to go with console because you can argue that the PC Engine, the Japanese PC Engine, which is a fantastic console, which is also an 8-bit processor but a 16-bit graphics bus, thus allowing it to do 4096 colours on screen. When Nintendo wasn't doing that, nor Sega with the Mega Drive or the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. They weren't doing that number of colours on the screen. This PC Engine, a very underrated piece of kit created by, what was it? It was Hudson Soft, who was the sort of main supplier of software for it, and NEC, and that's a computer corporation that's I think it's still out there really. I mean, you can still buy NEC equipment, and I certainly know they do electronics, so that's kind of kept them going, over the years. But yeah, and I still hold that by far that was one of the best consoles. As an 8-bit console, it was a 16-bit beta. If you follow my logic, it was an 8-bit console that was competing with them. It even had a CD player at some point, which was yet again better than the Mega CD. I know that did Nintendo have one? They did on the NES. I think they did, but it wasn't quite. I don't think it really hit our shores. I might be wrong with that, but I know there was the Mega CD. Wasn't quite as good, and then you had when they finally did make something where it was a little bit more powerful, slightly more powerful, and they used the 16-bit and 32-bit, the 32X. It was too late by then because they'd kind of moved on to the Saturn, hadn't they? So I still hold that the PC Engine. If you haven't got one, they're getting more expensive, by the way, because there was only they sold en masse in Japan for about 15 million of them were sold, but they're getting more expensive now as they go along. You can get modified ones. I've got a modified one that uses an RGB SCART output. And it's all set up and done. It's been recapped and all the other stuff. And it was quite, at the time, it was quite inexpensive. It was £120, and it was sold by a UK seller, so it had the power supply as well. And he was really good, the UK seller. I'll be honest, he was really, really good, because he sort of said, "Have you had one of these before?" And in the comments when he was sort of sending it to me, I said, "No, I haven't had one." He said, "Look, I'll chuck a CD in with a bunch of special things on it that you might like for if you decide to get one of these, EverDrive type things where you can put things and do whatever else." He says, because the game's getting more and more expensive as we go along. I mean, hue cards are expensive now. They're getting to be stupidly expensive, certainly within the United Kingdom, because it wasn't released here. But when it comes to beat 'em ups on the Spectrum, This is the one. This is the game, and I like this one because it's a single blow for more like a karate match itself. A single blow would allow you to pass on to the next bit until you get to a certain level of sort of dans as you go along. Yes, there was lots of keys. It was every letter surrounding the letter S and the number 1. So you had 9 keys in total. So you had with a fire changing the mode of those keys. Fantastic game, really, really good. The follow-up wasn't so good because the I guess the impact zones, we now call them hitboxes, weren't so good. It was beautiful to look at, and they had some nice sort of bonus stages. International Karate, poor Archie McLean, who sadly passed away about a couple of weeks ago, actually, if you're watching this. So yeah, Archie McLean passed away. He was responsible for International Karate and International Karate Plus. Those were kind of very much clones. I mean, International Karate Plus, though, fantastic game, really, really good. I have to admit, one of my favourite versions of it, though, comes on the Commodore Amiga. That is by far one of the greatest sort of arcade versions of it. However, it did make it to a 32-bit system. It made it to the PlayStation 1. I've got that somewhere. It's not quite as good, would you believe? I think the music's CD based instead of being a sort of the more the Amiga-esque sort of 4-channel sound that came out of the Amiga, which was a much crisper sound. But I'll be honest, it's still good, but it's not quite as good as the Amiga version. But yeah, PlayStation 1 version of it, well worth owning as well. Again, becoming quite an expensive title. Quite a lot of these quite expensive titles nowadays. I'm a collector of Where the Explodes Fist. I'm still missing the Commodore 16 version of it, the original sort of, where we saw the blue box at the beginning there. It's got a yellow around the edge of it. I'm missing the has that started playing? Yes, it has. I don't know how it did that because I didn't push any buttons. Let's do a roundhouse and kick. That's there, down. Sorry, yeah, I don't know why it started playing there by itself, but anyway, I remember playing this for the first time at my friend's house, and I was hooked. That was me. I was like, this is the greatest beat 'em up ever. Yeah, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so I was missing the C16 version of it, which is I've got the Ricochet re-release, which is fine. I've got no problem with that. I've got missing the American release for the Commodore 64. It came on on a floppy disk, a 5 1/4 floppy disk. I'm missing the BBC release on a 5 1/4 floppy disk. I've got the tape version of it, and I think that's pretty much it. I have got some variants though. The Commodore 64 version. It was released by another company called GLP, something limited or something similar. I think it was Larry's Limited Games or something like that. Anyway, but it was released by them. And as I say, never. Oh, you got me. I kept doing the same move over and over again there to try to get him. But yeah, that was. Oh, look at that! Some ninja moves going on there. I should say karate moves going on there. Properly bashed him. Got him good anyway. But yeah, so there's a few releases that I'm still looking for my collection. I do need another copy of the BBC tape version though, because somebody's stuck the cover to the inside of the tape case, and I keep forgetting that. I keep trying to take it out, and then realizing I'm ripping it, and it's terrible realistically. So there we go. Very clean hit. The cleaner the hit, the more your points you score. So there's a yin and yang up there in the top left-hand corner of the thing, and you as you wallop them based on how clean the hit is depends on the score point. If it's not particularly clean, you don't get a full yang or yin and yang, which is I've got full on there because it was a clean hit. That should be another clean hit, I would hope. No, it was just a. And they can do defensive moves, obviously. Oh, he's got me. That'll be a full one, though, because that was a good clean hit. I'm impressed by his manoeuvring there. Oh, I don't know why I did that. Has he beat me? Yes, he has. There we go. All over as quickly as that. I didn't even get to show you the... Oh, actually, there's only 3 levels, so that we saw the 3. Was it 3 or 4? No, it's 3. That's it. There's 3 levels. Poor old Amstrad CPC owners. 1 background. What's that all about? They only got 1 background. How can they just give 1 background? I don't know why I keep starting the game by itself, though. I'm not starting it. Yeah, they got 1 background. That was really unfair for them, you know. Literally 1 background. Electron users also 1 background. I've done some videos on my channel for it. Electron users one video, one sort of a screen of it as well. Good kick. Yeah, it was only worth half a point. That's a full point. Boom. Oh no! Love that background, by the way. It's iconic. This is another. I tell you what, the other game that is comparable with this when it comes to it, the other game that's comparable, I've got to admit, is actually Barbarian, the original Barbarian. That's comparable. If you want another good one, because that was a sword-based weapon thing, and then you had the sort of spinning, the equivalent of the roundhouse there was. And I got rid of the roundhouse. The roundhouse there was the equivalent of the sort of spinning around and hacking the head off with the sword, and it was just all over after that. You had more energy on that though, so you could kind of hit each other a few times. Whereas this is, as I say, more strategic in its approach of what you're doing. That's pretty cool though. It looks really good and it plays extremely well. It's still extremely playable to this day. It's one of my faves. Anyway, let's go see what else we've got. So that kind of matched up with what was on the back of it. So this is Nightshade. This is one of these games. If it is Nightshade, that is, should be Nightshade. If this is Nightshade, it's one of those games that I don't know about you, but I think isometric is one of those things. It's a bit like early 3D. It broke some barriers that we hadn't got previously. That 3-dimensional look of it all, the feel of the three, yeah, definitely going to be Nightshade. The feel of that sort of we're in a 3-dimensional world, something different, something that's not the normal. That isometric view was initially what I would call, it was quite it was groundbreaking, and I believe that they even delayed Ultimate even delayed games, thinking that people wouldn't be able to handle this new 3-dimensional environment. The only thing I think I have a problem with it is the movement within it. It's kind of very digital, maybe the word to use. Basically it's up, down, left, right, but obviously it's sort of at angles diagonally, so it's diagonals maybe is the word to do it, but it only moves in diagonals. It doesn't move through the sort of the space in between the diagonals, so there isn't the freedom of movement. I think that's where I get my problem with isometrics. I think some of them are absolutely fantastic. They look amazing. I mean, this one's about the viruses and weird and wonderful things that you're hunting down, but I love the boxes for these, the sort of Alien 8s and the Night Law and even Nightshade itself and other games. They look fantastic. It's just I can't get on with them. I actually prefer the Ultimate sort of 2D shooters, 2D sort of flat playing games of some sort. I don't know. I know I'm not the only one out there that couldn't get on with these. I saw how groundbreaking they were. I wanted to love them. I didn't. It's like Head Over Heels. I think Head Over Heels is a fantastic game. It's even been re-released for the Switch. If you want to find Head Over Heels, it's on the Switch. I think it's even on the PC as well. It was the company. Ooh, what are they called? It's on the tip of my tongue. There's a company who's purchased them. Basically, there was a website called RetroSpec.net, and RetroSpec.net was a website where people remade games, older games, including Attic Attack for modern PCs, and they remade this version of Head Over Heels, which has now been re-released, and it's not free to get anymore. It used to be a free game. I've got it somewhere stored on a disc somewhere, but it was free to play, and then now they sell it. I mean, I got sent a review copy of it, and I keep meaning to review it. Problem is, can't play isometrics. There was one recently, wasn't it? It was a Lumo, that was one. You can see it all over the Switch, and it's on the PC, and it's on the PlayStation, and it's on the Xbox, and it follows that pattern of the movement. You know, moving on the diagonals, and I want to love it for its nostalgia, but actually it's a mechanic that's crap. I'm going to be honest, it's a crap mechanic, and I understand why they did it within these games, because I think there'll be some difficulty moving across the plane. They wanted to show the 3D, isometric 4 views, front, back, sides, and that was it. That's what they wanted to show. So I kind of get why they didn't give you a kind of in-between position where you can move upwards at an angle, but I'll be honest, it is annoying that the movement fashion of the whole thing. Right, I need to go check one thing. Just you stay watching that for a second. My son is pouring himself a drink, but he's been over pouring it so that he can empty the bottles, which is not very good. So I'm just going to go check. Hang on a second. Sorry about that. Right, I'm back. Yes, he was attempting to pour away the whole bottle of liquid again, so that nobody else can have any, which is a bit off really. I think it's part of his new. It's a new phase in his autism. So I've been forced to take away the bottle of Coke from the. That he's been, or bottled Coca-Cola, or own brand Coca-Cola that he's been emptying by himself. So never mind. Yeah, not very good. Not a very good thing. Not a nice new thing, unfortunately. Right, where are we? Are we loaded? That doesn't look like it's loaded. That sounds like a new game. Yeah, that's definitely a new game. Right. So Nightshade did not load. No, it's not loaded. Right, okay, I'm going to get PlayZX at the case, because that's the way to do it. That's the answer to the problem. Let's do that. And let's get PlayZX on the case, because these is a big tape, so we need to have a good go with it. Let's give it a go. Let's get PlayZX at this. This is the one. And okay, Nightshade, Ultimate Play the Game. Nightshade Poke. Oh, somebody's got a poke on here as well. That's very handy. PlayZX is quite a handy little utility. Realistically, it does what it says on the tin, which is basically plays ZX Spectrum games back. And if you've got one of these tape converters, which is basically it's effectively a tape head to a tape head within the whole thing, which is really good. Hang on. Yep, play. There we go. A tape head to a tape head. It's actually really useful because it does do what it's meant to do. It loads, most of the time loads the game. There's still sometimes it doesn't, but of course that's more of a thing of the Spectrum itself, isn't it? That's more it being difficult than anything else. So yeah, that's what happens. Right, okay. There we go. But as I say, isometric me never really got on. I mean, there's plenty of games that I would like to have loved. I mean, as I say, there was obviously a lot of games by Ultimate that were really good. So Night Law, obviously Nightshade, Gunfight, And then you've got things like those other games that were isometric that I quite liked. Things like there are some that are good that I actually could get on with. I'll be honest, but they were still hard. But I still got on with them. I got on with Ant Attack. That was a good one. That was a good one that got on with. It was an isometric, very early isometric. That was the patented soft shell approach that was there. And then you had other games that I kind of got on with. I kind of like Glider Rider. Do you remember Glider Rider, where you had a little man on a bike and he could bike around? I don't think it was meant to be a motorcycle, but you biked around and you got to the top of a hill, and then when you came down the hill, you sort of pushed up and a button, and you became a glider that could bomb bases as they flew around. That was an isometric. I wanted to get on with it better than I did. I mean, there's another. I mean that's a weird one. It's almost like a shoot 'em up. I mean, you could put Virus in that as well. Do you remember Virus? That was released by Firebird on that sort of orangey sort of label that they had, and Virus. And now I remember Virus. The thing I remember about Virus is it wasn't on the Spectrum that I first played it. No. It was actually on the Archimedes. Do you remember those Archimedes? Acorn Archimedes, and they were part of a course I was doing, and I can't remember what the course was. Years and years ago, and they had Archimedes, and it was quite uncommon to have something like this, and it was on there that I first played Virus, and it was one of the things that was available to sort of load and put on them. I don't know why it was there though, because it was art packages and stuff like that. I think it was part of a sort of a media course I was doing, and this is the device they used. I quite like my Archimedes. I thought they were actually a particularly impressive looking computer, but again, one of these things, that Acorn did themselves sort of disservices with the things they're doing, but to be fair, they also did themselves disservice selling ARM, because that was their microprocessor thing. That's what's in every mobile phone, and selling it or allowing its sale not that many years ago was definitely a mistake, because it was one of the big staples of the British economy. So I that was a mistake. When you allow things to make, and that was allowed by, unfortunately, the current government. They allowed them to sell effectively the rights to every mobile phone on every mobile device and everything that uses an ARM processor worldwide. Yeah, not the best of moves. So that was allowed to be floated and sold just to satisfy some shareholders. That's one of those things you shouldn't sell. It's family jewels, if that makes sense. There's the family jewels. Help yourself. Open the door. There's a pot of cash. Yeah, and then everybody else has stood it. So anyway, ARM used to be on the float on the British stock market. It affected the whole pricing of that as well as a direct result. And even one of the original owners of Acorn came out and said this is a mistake. It was the chap. Have you ever seen the Micromen TV program from the BBC? Did you can Google it, but BBC Micromen on YouTube, you'll find it. It's the German gentleman that was there with Chris Curry. That was it. I can't remember his name. It escapes me right at this moment in time. But he came out and said that, because he was obviously one of the founders of the ARM part of the company, and said no, we shouldn't sell this. It's very political of me. Sorry about that. I'm just a bit tangent, but it's true. But Archimedes was the computer I remember playing. It's really good, very good, much fun. All right. Right. Oh, our tape errors. We can't have those. Not on What's on the Tape. I can't believe we got What's on the Tape, our tape errors. We always get our tape errors. It always happens. Right. Okay. Let's try it again. Let's see if we can get Nightshade to go. Let's give it a whirl. Right. There is another version of it here. Let's do this. Let's do this one. So stop the one we've currently got. We've got that one. Press the play button. Put load dit in. Load dit or load speech marks, and let's push the button. I was watching the return of my Night 2. I've never heard of Night 2. Oh, it's a cracked version. Why is it cracked? I don't know what that means. Nightshade 2 loading. Okay. Antonetta software. I never think of Spectrum games being cracked, I never think of that, to be honest with you. I suppose they had to be for some things, because there was funny speed loads and things, wasn't there, along the way. But anyway, what was I thinking? What was I saying there? I've lost my train of thought. You come back in here and tell me what I was thinking. Oh, it's completely gone. That's even worse. Oh, there's a flashing bit in the middle of the screen. That's not going to help when it goes over. I hope this one loads. It'd be nice to see this one at least. There's a dragon at the bottom of that little sort of Tudor style house there. Some skulls. It's just like the cover though. That's what they've done. They've taken the cover there and they've put it into the game. So we've got the cover on the screen there. I don't think I've actually got Nightshade. It's one of those games I want to add. I know there's I think Mel LaBelle who will be in the comments below. I think Mel owns an entire sort of Ultimate Collection. I'm not sure whether or not he has all of the variants though. I think he may do. I think he might have the variants. I've been looking out for the one I've been looking out for though on the variants front is the variant of Jetpack, because simply it's one of those ones. Jetpack for me is quite a mechanic game. I remember buying Jetpack and being absolutely delighted with it. I mean, it's one of those games that was like, this is one of the best shoot 'em ups I've ever played. This is akin to me playing sort of Space Invaders in 1979. Yes, I know it was a year later than it was released, but in 1979. Playing in a dingy old man's pub and putting 10p's in it on that two-tone version of it, the green and the white, because the white of the the film on the screen to make the top of it green and the bottom of it white. How marvelous! The green and the white of that Space Invaders and that do that noise. That's the kind of thing. And for me, Jetpack's a kind of that. For me, it's a bit like playing Hungry Horace. For me, Hungry Horace is the game that I got with my Spectrum above Sheer Panic. It's these things that burned in my brain. You know, there's just such a vivid memory about having to choose between one or the other. When there was. I mean, this is 1983 at this point, because it wasn't 82 we got my Spectrum. It was 83. It was sort of, I didn't jump the bandwagon straight away. This is the year after. So 83, and having to choose between Hungry Horace and Sheer Panic and sort of going with the Hungry Horace. I think slightly affected by the sales representative that was there at the same time. And then do you know what I started with though? I mean, do you remember opening it? I got rubber keyed Spectrum, opening it up. We had a tape recorder, tape I'm trying to find. I think it was Philips one. I had a sort of orange pause key, which was kind of smaller than the other keys, and the rest were grey. And you got the cable that connected the two together, your ear and the mic cables. And I remember loading up the tutorial one, and I went through the entire tutorial of pushing buttons on the Spectrum and all this kind of stuff. Went through that entire first side of the Horizons tape, and then flipped it over and played my first game technically on the Spectrum, Through the Wall, or Breakthrough, isn't it? Was it Through the Wall? Was it Through the Wall? I think it might be Through the Wall. Played that first game, and I was hooked. That was it. And then you had what else did you have? Oh, you had the wave thing where you can make the wavelengths go up and down, and then the foxes and rabbits. Do you remember that, where you made too many foxes and rabbits, and then there wasn't a balance between who ate who, and hence who starved, and then the foxes could go starve because there wasn't enough rabbits to eat, and the rabbits, I don't know, they don't starve, but I can't remember what they did. They kind of overbred, didn't they? And then there was like 2 foxes left who weren't eating it or something like that. Weren't eating enough rabbits, so there was too many rabbits, and then the foxes went up because they were eating all the rabbits and all this kind of stuff. And then there was Life. Do you remember Life, where you created some cells on the screen, and the cells then formed and joined together? It was all those kind of things. So yeah, there's some interesting things. Hey! Directional control, or it'll be tank controls is the other option. It's not really called tank controls, but that's what it is. So you got 5. Directional control. I'm going to go with directional control because I think that's easier. I'm not sure what the controls are for this are. What? Is that rotate? That's rotate. Oh, that's rotate. Oh, I've been poisoned. Hang on. Which is which way? Ah, that's not the right way. Ah, there we go. Got him now. Right, how do I fire? Or do I have any fire? I've got to go south. Look, it says go south. Doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle. I've got collected a portion. There's the thing that says go south, you see. Oh, yeah, I've got to collect these, don't I? That's right, because then they can fire. That's right. There, I can fire them, because they're like guns. I don't know why they are. They're like viruses or something like that. I think I'm like an alchemist. There you go. So I've got to go south, and I've got to kill those bad guys that are in the bottom there. So, on the bottom there, there's some bad guys. And I think the aim of the game is for me to kill those nasty dudes at the bottom there by shooting them with my alchemy powers. There we go, get some alchemy powers there. And those creatures are quite cool, actually, aren't they? They look good. Let's go this way, because it says south, look, at the bottom there. Oh, speedy boots or something. Yeah, it lets me go really fast. I don't know how I kill this thing. Ah! It's funny, though, because you don't really know what's bad and what's not, so... Yeah, okay. Still going south, full tilt. Doodle-doodle-doodle. Right, okay. Gonna keep going south, it says. Alright, okay, I'm gonna collect this. Let's see. Right, okay. Z changes direction. So it's a clever use of smaller play area, so that the speed goes up in the game. There's very clever use of that, so that the actual area we're using for the gameplay itself is actually smaller. So this is this clever stuff. This all clever stuff from these Spectrum developers of the day. Nope. Let's get out of here. North. Oh, alright. Oh, I've just realised it means nothing. It means nothing, the thing that says there, because it says north now. It's just because it's the way the cursor's facing. It's the south, north. Okay, so it means absolutely nothing. I don't know how you find these people. You explore randomly and hope that you find them. I'm assuming there's certain places that they live. Possibly. Oh, I shot that one. He got angry. He got angry. He's an angry man. You got to give it credit, though, for the way it looks. It's pretty good. It does look nice. I just don't know where this creature is. I'm just kind of wandering aimlessly now. I hadn't realised that's what it was. Sorry, peoples. I like the way his arms go in there when he crashes into a wall. Oh! It's a wall! Don't crash me into it! I got eaten by another virusy thing. That thing's horrible. I'm all yellow now. Right. Yeah, I'm not sure how I get anywhere. I've killed a few things, though. I feel the need to move on, to be honest with you. Oh, I've killed him. I didn't know I could kill him. That's handy. Yeah, I've got to collect these things to power me up. See if there's anybody in here with some more. Is that one as well? Are they things I can collect? Oh, they are. Oh, there's some more in here. Oh. Oh, it doesn't kill you, that fire thing. It just gives you some kind of disease. Makes you go green. It's got to admit, it's quite impressive. It's not, but as I say, I just find them. I find them a little bit frustrating. I don't enjoy them as much as other people have done in the past. I'm more like the artwork that goes with these things than I do the games. I definitely think the artwork is a definite bonus. A definite bonus. Right, let's go down here. Let's push the load dit again, and let's go for it and see what else is on here. So this so far has been very much what it says it's going to be. So this should be Jack and the Beanstalk. This was as I say, this did appear on the on Soft Aid. I quite liked Soft Aid. I did do that on What's on the Tape actually. I don't know if you can, I don't know if it will come under Soft Aid. It might do actually. You might need to have a little search. If you want to search on it, have a little look at Soft Aid. Probably one of my early videos when I was less confident or self-confident with my videos, to be honest with you. So yeah. Jack and the Beanstalk. One thing I do remember about this is that a lot of the developers who wrote for Thor software, for Thor, I think it's just Thor, who wrote for Thor, not the Marvel type one, but wrote for Thor. Basically, they got paid less than the people who did the covers. I can't remember what game it was, but somebody put a comment. It was one of the developers. He said he was given £500 for the game, and that was quite a lot of money. To be fair, you know, a couple of £1,000 back in the day, maybe maybe £2,000 or £3,000 if you multiply it up nowadays. And games from the gods. They weren't. They were from little developers. But anyway, but he did mention that the cover for his game, and I can't remember the game. I'm not sure it was Jack and the Beanstalk. Was the cover for his game was £2,000. So they spent £2,500 in total for the whole thing. But with the cover art being that, but then you had to obviously go to production, all the other things. And I'm not sure how you made your money back. I don't know if the Thor games. I thought the Thor games were budget titles. I didn't think they were full price games. I might be wrong on that, but I always thought they were budget titles. I certainly would have bought them when they were a bargain. You know how I love a bargain. So I would have bought them when they were a lot cheaper than other things. Anyway, I've got coffee. What have you got? Have you got a beverage? I hope you've got one. I've got it in the flake mug. I'm resisting the temptation to sing it. You know the song? Resisting. I won't be for long, though. Oh, it's the flake mug. Because it's only the crumbliest, flakiest chocolate. That's the one. One day I'm going to find that advert and stick it actually in this video if I could actually be bothered to improve the production value of the Real Generic Demon site, that sort of YouTube channel. I don't think it's going to happen, but if I did improve the quality, it would be a better thing. So I'm missing a trick though. Apparently I'm meant to be doing shorts now. That's what I'm meant to do. No of these long videos, because apparently nobody's got the attention to actually get to this point in the video. So if you've got to this point in the video, congratulations, you. Well done. You are an excellent human being. But apparently we only have the attention span, or certainly this generation only has the attention span of a gnat, which is about 3.5 milliseconds. So, and if you're not in a TikTok video dubbing to somebody else's song, then you're not down with the kids. So I'm not down with the kids, and I'm more than happy to say I'm not. I mean, if I was going to do a short, I'd do like a bit of a loading screen, and then say wait 3.5 minutes for the rest of it to load, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying I won't do a short. I can't think of anything that I'd want to do a short on, though. I'm not really down with the kids, as I say. I'm not really down with it. I'm too old and crumbly to care as well, to this point, to be honest. Except the problem with it is those kids are usually the kids who are now looking after you when you go to the doctors. You know, the ones that they're like half your age. Just so strange that when you get to that point in your life. When you're older than when I first started working donkeys years ago for the NHS, I was very young and the doctors were very old, and now the doctors are younger than me, and I just feel very old some occasions. So yeah, they're all in their mid-30s now, and you know and you know the typical doctors, but it's just so strange that that things are, you know, that you get older than everybody else. Everybody I work with seems to be younger than me nowadays as well, which is also particularly weird. Yeah, don't know when that happened. I didn't want it to happen, you know. I tried very hard. Elixir of Life and all that. You know, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which is the mug of a carpenter. Wasn't that what it was? It was with his. I always find that amusing, that movie, the Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, because you've got Indiana Jones, the Last Crusade, and you've got Harrison Ford and Sean Connery, and the difference between them was 10 years. Paul Jack and his mother own a dairy cow, Daisy, would like to give them milk. And basically, Jack decides to get some beans and then throws them out the window. Oh my God, where are the beans? It's a classic story of bean miracles. What kind of miracle, asks Jack. You'll see a giant stalk with magic beams stretching through the sky. The one thing about this game, I'll admit, is that getting past the first screen is a delight. Getting to the second screen is fantastic. Getting to the third screen never happens, because that's the way it is. All the strange things happen. And the next morning, Jack awoke and saw that there was a castle on top of the creatures and things like that. There's a movie, isn't there, called Jack and the Beanstalk? I tried to watch it on I think it was Prime. It was rubbish. Utterly rubbish. I so didn't enjoy it at all. I don't even know why you create a Jack and the Beanstalk movie like that. Anyway, press 1 for the one for keyboard, collecting attempts. I don't know what the keys are, but I have a rough idea. Where's the buttons? Let's jump. That's up. Alright, we've got to collect the items to get up the beanstalk for a start off. Yeah, I know. It's like to the tune of, what's they called? The, I don't know, I can't remember. There we go, get to the top first of that. Brilliant. That's the most dangerous beanstalk you'll ever see in life. But look at this, he just doesn't care about colour clash to this guy. Just so, like, stuff the colour clash. Now, how do you climb up these ones? I can't remember how you climb up them. You have to, there's a certain, I think you have to go through the gaps in the middle, I think. Am I right? I can't remember. One item collected. Try going through the gap. No, can't work through the gap. There is a way to get up these bloody things. And I can't remember what it is. It's so annoying. Right, okay, come on. Yeah, I know. I fell off the edge of the screen because I'm an idiot. I was going to try and go upwards. Is that me dead? Yes, it is. 1 for keyboard. Come on. Let's go get this thing again and climb up the beanstalk like we're meant to. We've got up the beanstalk. Let's go along. And then you actually have to come down, because if you go up the beanstalk the wrong way... Yeah, bird! Ouch! Right, okay. Too gung-ho with that one time. Flew up there like a maniac. Like a crazed Jack. Like a crazy man. Let's fly up here again, though. There we go, right up this time round. First time round, don't mess around with the beanstalk. Get straight up there. Yeah, you can't climb the bricks. I'm sure you climb the sides of the bricks. I just can't remember there's something about this. Nope. Damn you, what is it? What do I do? Do I go up the gap? I can't remember. It's so annoying. I think the last time I played this bloody game, it was the same difference. Yeah, you can't go up there. Why can you climb? Bricks are impossible. Chris Kerry, you made a monster of a game. Fastest time, 9999999. I'm not blowing surprised. I'm going to have another go. How does your garden grow is the music. There we go. Right, okay. First time round. The big smile there. I'm sure you have to go... How does your garden grow? Right, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know. What is it? What do I have to do? Do I have to jump? No, jumping does not bode well. I fell off the edge. Fell off the screen. Oh. This game's nuts. Absolutely nuts. It's crazy. Right. We'll see what goes on here. Alright, I can't work this one out. Anybody know how to do this? I really don't. Is it... Oh, it's that... No, it's not that one. Bloomin' heck! I'm sure there's a specific route you have to go up it. I'm not going to keep trying, though, because that's just nuts. Chris Carey, you've got a lot to answer for. That game drove me nuts on the specky on soft data, but I kept playing it until I could finish that first level, as you can see, really easily. But I just couldn't. I can't remember. I remember climbing the bricks, but I can't remember what order I climbed the bricks in and how you climb the bricks, if that makes sense. So it's quite a tough. It is. It's a tough game, that one. Tough one, that one. Okay, we're going to. Oh, maybe non-terraqueous. Non-terraqueous. I don't even know what this one was about. Solo the Robot, I remember. I remember having Solo the Robot. Quite like Solo the Robot. It's got a little robot on the front of it with little wings so it could fly. It's a little flying up and down. But I mean, I know. Dave plays Retrogames badly. Birdsall. He loves this. He thinks it's a fantastic game. I don't remember how to play it, and I'm not even sure what I'm meant to do in it. But these are the things, though. I have very fond memories of a lot of budget titles because those were what I could afford. So because I could afford budget titles, I have more fond memories of probably of those than more of the more expensive ones. And the ones that were more expensive are the ones that I really remember. So like I remember Operation Wolf because I got that in the Christmas of '88. I remember getting buying Green Beret with my own money. I also remember buying Software with my own money, and then playing Light Bike, which is it Light Bike? No, Starbike from Edge on there. And it was very much like a Lunar Jetman, but easier sort of game than I never really understood it. I've got the original now, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful game. I'm really pleased with it. I'm very very happy with it. Actually, there's a little story with that. I actually found one copy on eBay. It wasn't very expensive. Found it, bid for it. Paid for it. Sent the money to the seller. And like a month later, it still hadn't even been dispatched, expected, whatever else is. So I had to complain to eBay, and they just refunded me all the money. But yeah, that seller was really weird. Just gone completely silent. Not lots of things up for sale, but no response to those kind of things. Very weird indeed. But I'm assuming the ship's called Non-Terraqueous. Imagine if Event Horizon had been called Non-Terraqueous. I still think that's a terrifyingly scary horror movie. I really do. I think that's one of those things that terrifies people forever. That one. It's scary stuff. And there's lots of cut bits as well that have gone missing, which is even more ominous. Mind you saying that, it's not that ominous. They'll have been on the cutting floor and then brushed away, unfortunately. But apparently there's some director's cut stuff that would have been absolutely amazing if it had been made it back into the original cut. To make it even scarier than the original movie. That probably is my number one scary movie, actually, if you think about it. If I actually want a movie that scares me, that's a movie that scares me. Yeah. I can't think of any other ones, though. What movies scare you? Do you have any that scare you that actually, really do actually give you chills as a thing? I've watched a few sort of clones of, recently, a few clones of what the original sort of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They can be pretty nasty, should I say? I say ratty because they look dirty and horrible and nasty. So they can be pretty nasty. There's one called, what's it called? Oh, I can't remember its name. I'll have to remember that now. I'll look it up. I'll probably put it on my community channel. But there's one that's I think it's Brazilian actually, but and sort of goes along the same sort of lines. Deserted town, middle of nowhere. I think it was after a flood though. That was the thing. It was after a flood, and the people obviously that left there are not particularly nice people, and they're sort of surviving by their wits, which includes eating the hapless tourists that dare to venture into this sort of dangerous ex-flood zone. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting one, that one. That's an interesting one. I like the what was it? Is it the house by the lake? Is it the cabin by the lake? Oh, what's that one where they're kind of feeding the demons to make sure the old gods don't come back? I'm sure it's that one. Oh, look at this! There's a man punching the screen. Look, it's punching. Little robotic face and punching the screen. I'm going to smash the machines because in Terra Cognition, it's about that. It's about killing the machines. There's a planetary machine that needs to be destroyed. cool. I think we're loaded. Yes! Stephen Curtis and Mark Jacobs, 1985. Music on, music off. I don't care about music, really. I'm just going to press 1 for keyboard. And I'm going to move, if I can work it out. What am I? Oh, I'm there. Ooh. Ah, shooting. Shooty, shooty. Oh, shooty, shooty. Oh, I like this. I like it already. I think I'm meant to be putting bombs somewhere, though, because it looks like there's bombs to be planted. Yeah, cool. I'm going to go on to that. Soul the Robot has the same makeup in its levels as this. Schwab. Is that a shop? It's a psych. Psych. I'm wondering if there's a button for shop. Swap. What's swap do? I'm trying to find buttons here so if anything happens. Nope, nothing happening there. It drops slowly anyway. Right, okay. What's this do? Pressing buttons to see if I can put stuff on it. I like it, but I don't know what I'm doing with it. I kind of like the shooting thing. As I say, Soul the Robot used a more platformy thing in the same sort of environment, which is kind of cool. I think I've got a problem with my keyboard, by the way, because occasionally it shoots backwards. Ah, bomb. How do I pick you up? Bomb. Yeah, that's a good idea. Shoot the bomb. Can I land on top of it? Push buttons. Push buttons on top of the bomb. Oh, what happened there? Oh, bombed! I've bombed the place. Robotic seeker has exploded. An anti-force field bomb too near itself. Oh, right, okay. That's kind of cool. Let's do that again. So, there's a button to collect it, and there's a button to blow it up. And I obviously collected the button. Ah! Proton thrusters touched the robotic seekers, burned out completely. We're not going to keep burning out. We've got to go. We got on a mission. We're on a space mission. Chip. Oh my god! It's like Airwolf all over again. I'm gonna go up. There we go. There. I didn't realise they were so deadly, those things, actually. I'll be honest. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to get my anti-proton thing down here. Yeah. There's my bomb down here, so let's go collect this. So, I picks it up. I wonder if I drops it. I've obviously got to blow something up. I know what I've got to blow up. Let's press the... Oh, what happened there? What have I become? Swap. When I press I, it does that. Ooh. That type of psycho contains tiltade, which is fatal to... Oh. Right, so there's something... God, there's so many things going on now. I'm getting so confused with the level of things. So I pushed the I button again there, and we ended up doing something with this thing here that was fatal to me. I wonder what if I change now and pop to that. I can't fire this thing, but it's okay because I think I can pick up a bomb with it. I'm gonna go over here. Press I, yeah. I don't know what the bomb. Hang on, how do I drop the bomb? I press K. Ah! That's kind of cool, actually. I'm not sure what I'm meant to be doing with it, but I quite like it. It's quite good fun, that one. Let's see how we go to the next one, see what we've got on here. So this is Soul the Robot. Again, I'm not sure what I was actually meant to do on Soul the Robot. I just remember liking it as a kid. It was kind of like somebody taken Underworld and made it a game where you were playing with a robot, basically, that could shoot everywhere and do bits and pieces. And I think it was F to flap, which is a really weird mechanic. You could fly up anywhere with this F to flap mechanic. Soul of a Robot. So Non-Terraquous is like the Seeker droid, I'm guessing. So this is like the next. This is like the next iteration of the same thing. Very cool cover. I remember that being one of the things. Look at this though. And the person who created this trilogy of games really was thinking about this and thinking about the machines and the AI and the artificial intelligence and all the other things that went with it. Non-Terraquous 2 copyright. So the same sort of graphics, same sort of thing. 1985. So it was the same year. They did the first one and then they made this one. I wonder if it's the same developer. I love the Star Wars bit, by the way. Look at the bottom corner and the bottom right there, the old Star Warsy bit. I'll tell you what, let's make it Star Wars. Actually, to be fair, though, you could also go with It's Terminator down the bottom there with piles of things, but I don't think... Was Terminator out 84? Was 84 Terminator? I can't remember. But there's a very Terminator Star Wars combo going on here, isn't there? There's machines... And I'm I'm guessing the soul of the robot is the creature that's there, the merging with that alien species that's in the back there. It's sort of a very Mekon-esque man with large fangs, so sort of a vampire space creature, little green man type thing going on there. All Roswell and all that kind of stuff. Yes. That didn't go very well, did it? When they tried to storm Area 51 or 52, whatever it was, that went. That's 51, wasn't it? Area 51. That did not go well for them. Facebook would let's storm it, and they said we'll just shoot you. It's probably not a good choice then to go and do that. So that was the response to the storming of Area 52 or whatever it was. So 51. Why do I keep saying 52? Is there a 52 as well? It's like that crap version of 51. It's Disney World versus Disneyland or something similar. Maybe that's what it is. Once they didn't get quite the same sort of aliens. They got like alien mice or something like that with extra large ears, and they were green. Delivered by a farmhand called Trevor. But they arrived in a meteorite. Look, they've not died at all. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm just wondering. Speculating on the vastness of the universe. Technically, there's other species out there. However, I like the red dwarf theory that man explores them pretty much the entirety of the universe. Although that's not all the local galaxy, maybe, or whatever else. Is galaxy? Yeah, galaxy. We'll go galaxy. Local galaxy, and finds nothing except for himself and everything. Every species that Dave Lister and the crew, Rimmer and the cat, actually meet versions of something that man's done. So even the Gelfs, they're genetically engineered life forms. That's why they're called Gelfs. Everything they've done is made by man. None of it is technically alien. None of it. Nothing at all. There's no alien species. All that exploring, all of that bits and pieces, and we find out that the human race is completely alone in space. That's it. We're the only ones out there. We're the only ones causing problems. I always love the books. If you've ever read the books are well worth reading. It's better when you read them as when it's Grant and Naylor, which is it looks like Grant Naylor is the author, but it's Grant and Naylor. It's the two authors of the original TV series. They're funnier together than alone. I think Naylor does a couple by himself later, and they're not very good. But they did Better Than Life. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Better Than Life. The kind of extended version of the TV sort of the thing they did, so much better, so funny, so funny. And as I say, the books together are really good. Anyway, so there's our little robot, and it's very similar sort of graphics. There's our jump, and there's a long jump, I think. There's leap at the bottom. See the W? There's that. There's me leaping. So I can get onto here. Just don't hit the barrier. And then I think it's F to flap. Or is it F? Or is it D? H. G. F. Z. There's a button. I'm telling you now, there's a button to flap. Can't remember what it is. But it's definitely there. Because you got your psychic power again, you see. There it is. E. It's got the most enormous nipples, look. Huge nipples for a robot. As we all know, all robots are quite nipply. Oh, where's the chute? Is it shoot. Where's the laser? I do like the graphics though. They definitely improved the species sort of pictures. What's the laser? There is a laser. I know there is. Yeah. Go quick. And then you end up having to flap once you land at the bottom, and you made the mistake of doing that. So you can get out of the level by doing this, and this used to drive me nuts because you could actually flap all the way back out again. So we'd like, it's like a Daley Thompson of robots with nipples. So it's flopping up. It's just like the weirdest part. It's like, why would you put this into it? You know, why would you put flappy nippled creatures? They can't hurt you, which is even funnier. It's more they get in your way, a bit like Underworld. Yeah, see my energy's going down as well. It's like you know, well, I'll just let it flap down again. Yep, and then they knock me off course, and then you can land on their heads and get knocked off course further. It's Scorn. If you've seen Scorn, the new game that's sort of very alien in its look. Yeah, I don't want to know. I want to know what fire button is. What's my fire button? There's just definitely a fire in here. It's not that one. That's my leap button. All right. I thought it'd be fire. Would be one of these buttons. I like the look of this one though. It's got beautiful sort of you know. There's some very you know, alien things about this one. I like that about it. I do like that about it. I like the look of it. It does look good actually. But another budget title. And I quite liked it. I tell you what I liked about it. It's one of those ones you need to map, all right? And you need to read the instructions because it's been a while since I played it, and I can't remember the ins and outs of it. And there's buttons. There's lots of buttons for this one. But what I really liked about it back in the day when I had this was it was nice to explore. It was lots of bright colours and yeah, and very little colour clash. And it was lots of, as I say, lots of bright colours, very little colour clash. And I have to admit, I quite liked it for that reason. I thought it was quite a sort of a good-looking little game that was fun to play. And I used to spend time playing it because you wanted to. You wanted to give this one a go. Even with his, I always thought it was weird he had nipples. But you know, I suppose robots can have nipples, can't they? Yeah, I just thought it was really quite nice. I think that would kill me, that thing there, if I jump into it. Is that a photon thing that we get hurt by? Oh! The leap thing is a bit annoying. So you have to leap onto that. Boom. Oh, come on. Yeah. But I like it because there's like some nice graphics and some nice looks. It's quite an interesting little game. As I say, and dinosaurs at the top of the screen. It was somebody who went to a great deal of effort, and I quite like it. I don't think they made such an effort with the third game. I don't think it's the same people though. I get the feeling if it was, I'll be quite surprised, to be honest with you, because it's not quite as good. If I'm honest, it's not quite as good. But that really looks nice, and I really like how that feels. Anyway, let's move on. We'll see what else we've got on this tape. It's a big tape, and it takes a long time to go through these things. It does take a while, but it's worth it. It's worth it because we get to see what's on the tape. Absolutely, what this thing was devised for. You know, I actually still find it quite amazing how many people actually categorized what they had on the tapes. I do. I find it's quite amazing that these particular sort of tapes actually have as many things on them as they do. Just quite amazing, really is. You wouldn't think that they would. You would think that they would be sort of filled to the people wouldn't have written it all down necessarily. But well, that's maybe just me. But it just amazes me that they do actually fill them up to such an extent. Right, I'm going to fast forward here because I can't hear anything. This actually might be clear. I'm going to look at the tape for a second, though. That's about halfway empty, you know. That's not a lot on that side of the tape. So it's going to be interesting on side 2 when we get to that. That's very quiet. Yep. Very quiet. Come on. Nope, still quiet. There's about half the tape left here, though. I might get lucky and have a bit of Elvis. And then the copyright holder will come and take over my entire episode for the fun of it. Put their adverts on it. I think this is going to be empty, you know. Which is alright. It's not a problem. Quite enjoyed that one. That was quite a nice thing. Because I got to play Way of the Exploding Fist, Nightshade, Jack and the Beanstalk, Non-Terraquous, Soul of a Robot. I can't believe I didn't get Non-Terraquous, though. After I realised there was Soul of the Robot. I don't know why I didn't pick that one up. It had a really cracking looking cover, didn't it? Really nice cover. Well worth playing. I'm sure. It looked like it. It looked interesting enough. It was very competently programmed. Very, very competently programmed. So was the second one, actually. Definitely expanding on the first and that feel of it. Yeah, there's nothing on here. It's silence. Sound of silence. Loads of tape to go. Let's give it a good fast forward here and see if we get anything. Nope, sound of silence, peoples. No ghosts of the past. None of our sort of white noise, maybe even. Tried watching that on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen it. It's got the guy who played Kylo Ren in Star Wars. I mean, what a rubbish name that was. Darth Vader was cool. You know, why wasn't he Baby Darth or something like that? I don't know. Or maybe no, Darth's the part of it. Sorry, right, got that wrong. Darth is the title. Vader was his name. Rise, Lord Vader. No, but Kylo Ren, really? It was Knights of Ren, wasn't it? That's what it was. We never got to see the Knights of Ren either. Just a brief overview of it. That really annoys me, actually, coming a little bit of Star Wars for a second there. You can't get figures for it. You definitely cannot get... Definitely can't get figures for Rise of Skywalker. I cannot find any for the life of me. Not that anybody really wants the figures from Rise of Skywalker. We just want to burn them. But the point is that you can't get them, and that's the end of the tape. By the way, that is it done. That's that side done. So next week we've got a monster. I hope you're up for a monster, but we have a monster next week. Anyway, I've been your host, Real Demon. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye now.